I'm here at the corner of Vossstraße and Wilhelmstraße in central Berlin, and I'm standing in front of a Chinese restaurant called the Peking Enter, the Peking Duck. Now, I'm not here for the food, very good though that is. I'm here because this is the site of Hitler's bunker.
Would you like beef with black pepper sauce?
Quite surprising to people to discover that this rather nice Chinese restaurant is actually on the site of the Reichskanzlei, the heart of Hitler's evil empire. You can go looking and have no idea that Hitler ran everything from here, that Hitler's bunker is there, that the kindergarten next door is part of all of this. And it's only since the owner of the restaurant put up a little sign that you get any sense that this is a place of real historic importance. It's very striking, and it raises a question. How should we think about sites of iniquity? How should we think about places where atrocities have been committed?
This is still very much a live issue in many parts of the world. These Serb concentration camps in northern Bosnia, filmed by ITN in 1992, were used to segregate Muslims before expelling or eliminating them. The Amarska killing camp was found to be a site of murder, torture and persecution as a crime against humanity. Today, Amarska is a working mine, with no sign that any war crimes ever happened here, except that you can't take photos and you can't put up memorials. Even victims and relatives can only visit once a year. Of course, the danger of marking war crime sites is that they might become shrines. The danger of not marking them is that awful crimes might be forgotten. So what about the restaurant at the end of the Third Reich? When the owner, Mrs. Tang, came to Berlin from China with her parents, she'd already read about the Third Reich in China in Chinese. So she was amazed that such an historic site was not marked in Berlin.
When I think of everything that's happened here in this city of Berlin, especially in this central district, it's absolutely fascinating. It's almost mesmerizing. Every metre I walk tells me a different story. It's surely one of the darkest chapters of European history, or even of world history.
So what do Mrs. Tang's customers think about her drawing attention to the Nazi past?
It is commemorated in some way, because here in this place they tell you the history of this site in the menu, which I think is very good, because otherwise people just wouldn't know. I'm a Berliner, and of course I've lived through the war most of the time in Berlin, and the time after the war, of course, has been of great interest and historic events, so it made one wide awake.
One of the things that's interesting to consider is the way in which Berlin has been changing, and the way and this informs our understanding of memorialisation of war crime sites more broadly. Peking Enter, this Chinese restaurant, is still largely an invisible war crime site, even the whole block as you walk around. In recent years there have been efforts to recognise some things, to put up signs. The invisibility of this site contrasts, for example, with the recently created memorial for the murdered Jews, these wonderful, are they tombstones, who knows, these corridors and channels, enormously effective, very, very much a landmark effort to remember something that happened, and in the end not very far away from the Reichskanzlei, in the heart of this iniquity. We can look at the Topographia des Terrors, built on the site of the three main institutions of Nazi terror, and raised ground, rubble and stone to reflect what was there, and specifically created memorial sites in a trench and a specifically created memorial building, making an effort to embrace the awfulness of the past on the site where much of it originated. Concentration camps, and in the Berlin area we noted that the Sachsenhausen camp is specifically memorialised, preserved as much as it could be, with amendments through the Soviet era when the Soviets used it as a camp, but retaining the essence of the concentration camp that was there, a reminder that people can easily go to visit to understand exactly what happened, preserved, properly memorialised, properly recognised. Does this matter? Well, maybe it does if you're thinking about addressing the needs of victims, if you're thinking about peace and reconciliation and a sense of justice. Sometimes it might be appropriate that a site has at least a degree of invisibility. At the same time, there are other places where you do need to have some kind of recognition of that which happened. In a sense, Germany has taken responsibility in a way that perhaps the Serbian territories in Bosnia have not yet done so.